Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand.
Welcome to Accent Your Beauty. Tonight's show is going to be so much fun, especially for me, because there's 5 of us here tonight. So we've got so much to talk about. And as always, I'm joined by the irrepressible, wonderful, talented, skilled Dr. Mark Berkowitz, probably, in my book anyways, the #1 cosmetic surgeon in this whole Midwest region.
Oh, you're so kind.
I can't say the whole country because there's a lot of good doctors, but around here, boy, you're the only one I would go to.
Thank you.
We also have Silvia and Megan and Josh, and we have lots to talk about. And I can only compare this to, in my mind, the Academy Awards. You know, they've got their academy and they vote and their members and they give awards. And you guys have the aesthetic everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your board and that's your organization. Mm-hmm. And for 7 years now, they've been giving out awards to members, and you get to vote, and your patients get to vote. And I guess they have almost $250,000 members.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Who, I don't know if they all pay to belong. That could be $250,000. But at any rate, it's like a self-governing group. They look to see who's the best at injections, who's the best at hair replacement, who's the best at facials, things like that. So I guess I'm pretty honored to be sitting with some winners here. Is that right, Doc?
Yay!
Yay for the winners!
Yeah.
Woo! And this particular organization's been featured, I guess, on all the big stations and on the Tonight Show and Good Morning America and all the fashion magazines. So anybody that's in the cosmetic industry, the surgical industry, the spa industry, they all know about this, right? This is a big deal.
This is a big deal. So this group is at every cosmetic surgery and plastic surgery convention. Again, as you said, over 250,000 people belong to the group. And annually, they have a vote by both the members as well as our clients to vote for who they feel is the best in the nation.
So it's the whole country. It's not just Detroit or just the Midwest. Well, you're in against some steep competition because everybody knows New York.
There's no competition.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Hey, acknowledge it because it makes the win that much more important because there is top competition in New York, in Beverly Hills, in Boca Raton. You know, there's a lot of areas that they have some, you know, particularly, I'd say, surgically conscious clientele. And I didn't know Detroit was one of them, but you're beating out doctors from all over the place.
Well, you know, it's a nice, healthy competition, and
but it's an honor.
It is an honor, and it's an honor for this year. We've got an amazing selection of awards that, you know, each year it comes as a surprise to us, and so we received. Top cosmetic surgery practice in the U.S.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Top medical
I'm
spa.
sitting with a star here. Okay.
Top medical spa in Middle America.
Okay. Well, I said you were the best in the
There you go.
Midwest. There you go.
Top plastic surgeons in Middle America. Top hair transplant surgeon, and this is an award that I've gotten for the past 4 years.
Wow.
And we are also awarded the top body sculpting surgeon.
That's
as
the
well.
cool sculpt and the sculpture.
As
and
well as
the-
liposuction.
and
as
lipo.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also have one of the top nurses here in the country, Silvia, and
Wow.
one of the top medical assistants, nurse assistants, Megan, and one of the top medical estheticians, Josh, as well.
Well, I am honored to be in your presence, guys. Well, I can speak for Silvia because she did a little bit of Botox for me. And her touch was light and painless, and I was very pleased. And as far as your hydrofacials, I know how great those are. So I can attest to some of this myself. And having lived in LA and New York, I know how good their doctors are. But we're better. And that's pretty exciting to know how good you are. Where do you want to start? You want to talk about your awards? Let's go to you first because, top hair transplant doctor 4 years in a row.
4 years in a row.
That's big stuff.
Yeah, so it's very nice. But I have to start by saying it really is my foundation, which is my staff. I have the greatest staff in the country. And they were awarded that too, as a top medical spa. But, as a physician, I'm only as good as the people who are around me and helping me. And they do a tremendous job, and they care so much about the clients as well. And it's tremendous, the changes that we make. And I think, part of the reason we're such a cohesive group is because we see these clients and how happy they are with the changes we make for them. So it helps us get through each day and look forward to each day.
Well, I guess knowing that you make such a big difference in the lives of people has got to be, besides the money that you make, a great satisfaction. Someone comes into you with a problem, bad skin or acne, or they're losing their hair, or their nose is too big. And in your case, you don't do noses, but you know who to refer them to. So any of the particular things that bother them, you get to fix them, and then that person will never forget you. Besides the money, every time they look in the mirror, they're going, "Thank you."
I mean, and the smiles, the hugs that we get, and the written testimonials really are quite meaningful to the team.
Well, they'd have to be, because it's that gratification that keeps you going. I mean, knowing how good your work is and seeing people come in with a smile and for their, follow-ups, and they're so grateful and so happy. And that's another atmosphere thing that you don't find in every office that you do find in your office, is that everybody's happy, upbeat, they greet you like they know you and they like you, and they're all beautiful, and their skin's all gorgeous. So, when you walk into a place where everybody looks good, makes you feel comfortable that you're going to look good as well. But again, it's the way you treat the people that walk through that door.
And they start receiving that treatment really over the phone. So when they first make the inquiry, we have a system really where we're dating them over the phone, so they get to know us.
You're courting them. Yes, you're courting them.
My wife will appreciate that.
But it works, because by the time you get there, you already feel relaxed and good, and you're anticipating your consultation. You're anticipating finding out, what can you do for me? What's it going to cost? What can I expect? And another aspect of your practice that I like is that you give people realistic expectations. You're very honest. I've never seen any of you tell somebody that came in with something they wanted that you knew was not achievable.
Yeah, it's all about education, because if the client has this feeling or this knowledge of an outcome that is not obtainable, then they're never going to be happy. And so we make sure to sit down with them so that they have a thorough understanding of the procedure. And there are some people who are actually taken aback by it, that we educate them so much. No, doc, I just want the filler, I just want Botox, or they think they know what they want. But until the team sits down with them and goes through what it is they're trying to achieve, and then putting the plan together for them, it may turn 360 degrees or 180 degrees from what they originally came in for.
My favorites are the ones, we've talked about this on previous shows, but the ones that bring in a picture of Jennifer Aniston, or bring in a picture of, whoever is their ideal of beautiful woman. They'll bring in a picture of Angelina Jolie. I want these lips. I want these eyes. I want this nose. Not everybody's born to look like somebody else. So you have to gently let that person know that no matter what you do to them, they're not going to look like Jennifer Aniston.
Well, I had a gentleman come in today, and we had the whole consultation. At the end, he looked at me and said, "Doc, you can tell me, if you really think I shouldn't have the procedure, would you tell me?" And it's like, my staff knows there's at least 2 or 3 people every week that I will tell, this is not the procedure for you, or I'm not the doctor for you, and it's not going to make the improvement, and so you're better off not having a procedure at this time. And so, if anything, what we are is honest.
But that honesty is so valuable because then the patient may not get that thanks to your recommendation, but he may bring in his sister, his wife, someone else, a friend. You may gain more patients from being honest than you would if you did something that ended up looking shitty and the guy's going, who did that to you? Dr. Berkowitz, you know. So your reputation's on the
that's
line.
what I said to this. I said to this gentleman, you know, whether you we were talking about a hair transplant, and I said whether you have it or not, you know, what you decide, what we decide together, my name is always going to be on your face, in your
On
hair,
your head,
and,
right.
And so, you know, whether you tell people or not, at some point in time, they're going to know, or they may not, depending on your decision, that you've had a procedure. And I don't want you to have a procedure if I don't think we can get the best results for you.
Well, I guess that's why there's a show called Botched, which
Right.
shows all the bad plastic surgery and the people that go and say, please help me reverse this. But that we're not talking about that here because that's not the
Well,
case with you. But
It's not the case. And you know, the other part is we have people coming in, especially things like hair transplants, which was the first award we were talking about, that have had the strip method before. And they've got this scar in the back of their head, and it's a frequent reminder, either because when their barber holds up the mirror at the end, you know, when they get their haircut, they see it, or from discomfort that they get afterwards. You know, every time it rains, they feel it in the back of their head. And they kind of feel that they've been botched because they have this scar in the back of their head.
that was the only way to do it at one time.
At one time, but there are better procedures like NeoGraft out there now that for most people is a much better procedure. And, you know, people will say, well, how come the doctor didn't tell me about it? And there are these people maybe had a year or two ago had a strip method. Well, you know, the NeoGraft machine is $100,000 for the doctor to invest in, while the scalpel blade to make the strip is, you know, $1.50.
Oh my gosh, there's a big difference. But obviously, a client, a patient, should do some research. And I think by knowing that the doctor you're going to has won the same award 4 years in a row for doing hair transplants should be a very gratifying thing to the patient. You know you're going to the best. And your prices, I have to say, are in line with the guys who are the worst in the business. So if you're going to pay the same thing, you might as well go to the best.
Well, not only are our prices excellent, but it also makes sense for people who live in Beverly Hills, California, or Miami Beach, Florida, to fly into Detroit, come go see a Lions game with me, and then have the procedure the next day, and they are still saving. And
Well, not only are they saving in the initial cost of the service, but they're getting a better technique, and they're going to be happier in the end. So it makes a lot of sense for people to come from other cities here, and also you work with them. You have payment plans. If someone can't afford it all right away, you're able to give them some options.
Yeah, and again, so they have those options from 0% financing to we run specials at times too, and so, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but there's specials coming up in celebration of the fact that we won these awards. We're having a Patient Appreciation Day on November 10th, and there's the best pricing of the year available on things like the hair transplant, and we'll talk about some other things. But, you know, again, it's the dedication of the staff. So one of the staff members who won the award, Megan, helps out as well with the hair transplants. And, you know, it is a procedure that's not only meticulous, but the stamina of the ladies who work with me, it's unbelievable. And so, you know,
Well, you're standing for long periods of time.
Oh, yeah.
Assisting. I mean, it can take how many hours to complete from beginning to end,
It
Megan?
can go anywhere, I'd say, from 10 to even 16 hours sometimes. I'd say at the most. It has gone, you know, to 16 hours. It all depends on the patient. You know, if the patient's really relaxed, and, you know, it's like working on a moving target. So it's like the more you have to stop, the more the patient moves around. It can make the day a little bit longer. I personally love it. I mean, I like being in the zone and just, you know.
What
flowing.
exactly do you do? What is your purpose in the room? You're there to do something specific.
Yeah, so I prepare grafts, meaning, you know, you just make them pretty. get them ready nice and fit for the
So
recipient area.
after they're taken out from the back and they're ready to be put in.
So once they're harvested, sometimes there's a little bit of extra tissue on them.
So they have to be
and-
cleaned up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And prettied up so that when they go in there, they're going to look good and fit in there right.
They're
and
beautiful
grow
too.
properly.
I swear, nothing gets me more excited than seeing beautiful hair follicles. It really is weird, I'm sure, to some people, but for me, it's something that I got a knack for really quick, and I love it, you know. And then after we prepare them, I sometimes assist with placing. You know, there's usually 3 of us on the team, and if it allows for me to squeeze in there, I'm going to be in there because I love it. It's great. The
Well, that's-
science behind it is beautiful. I love this procedure.
I think it's wonderful to love what you do. I've always
Absolutely.
said that. You have to get up every day, go do what you do, and have an affinity for it. You have to love what you're doing.
Yes.
Plucking hairs and cleaning them up and sticking them in somebody's head is an acquired
Absolutely.
taste. You have to love what you do to be the best,
Very
which you
tedious.
obviously are.
I love it.
How did you find her?
So I stole her from the other part of my practice. so she was at the ophthalmology part of Vision Institute of Michigan, and we saw what a dedicated employee that she was, and just a
thanks, Doc.
great person. And so we saw that she had potential to grow with us on the cosmetic part. So brought her over, and everything we've thrown at her, she's eaten up and said, "Give me more."
Yeah.
You know.
What's your educational background?
Oh, it's not much. It's just actually just I got a nurse assisting certificate from Dorsey, which is just a simple little school. You just get your certificate within a year. But, you know, I learned enough on those courses that I brought it into here. And everything I learned there, I actually do here on the job. And
Well, hands-on is the best way to learn
Absolutely.
anything. You can read a book and still not know how to do something. So
I'm absolutely visual, 100%. I like anything in front of me, hands-on.
So you clicked. You saw this is someone that you could teach, that could grow with your practice and be an asset to you. And there we go. Now you won an award for what you do, which is pretty exciting to know that you went into a field, found it to be fascinating, and rose to the top in that field. But it also says a lot for you, recognizing talent, knowing who would blend well with you, and the synergy would be there so that when you're going to be working together for 12 hours at a time in that same room all day, you better get along and like each other.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when we come back from our 2-minute break, we're going to talk to Silvia, we're going to talk to Josh, and we're going to see some of the other members of your staff that have received awards. We will be right back.
And action.
And millions of ducks. The 2 guys go to newradiomedia.com.
The Arts and Entertainment Channel on New Radio Media .com.
As a business owner, you're always looking to save money and cut costs where you can. And if you advertise on radio or television, you know it can get pretty pricey. If radio and TV aren't delivering like they promised, and you're looking for a more reasonably priced way to get your message to the masses, I've got an answer for you. New Radio Media. With live streaming and on-demand programming, your message can be seen throughout the day, and you can worry a little less about cutting those costs. For more information, go to newradiomedia.com or call Buzz Van Houten at 248-939-9999.
What's going on in your neighborhood?
They say it takes a village.
It's the simple things.
The things that are a testament to the old.
And the things that are a testament to the new.
Know what's going on in your community.
Check out our community channel on newradiomedia.com.
It's all about you, and that's the way we like it.
Where you're going.
What you do to stay fit.
What you're eating.
What you're thinking.
And how you're feeling. Join the conversation at newradiomedia.com's Lifestyles channel.
Stream the life you want to live.
Oh my gosh, that looks so relaxing. Just watching it, I just want to leave
your
here,
eyes.
and I want to go get it done. I mean, it reminds me of people that take great care of their car. They have these Jack's Car Wash things where they get, every day they can bring their car in and get it washed. You guys have a program where you can come in and get hydrofacials at a regular package deal where you can get a certain number and then you get one free or you get a discount or however it works.
Yeah, so we put together packages, and again, we'll talk more about November 10th, the best packages of the year.
I can't wait. I'm counting the days.
So what you just saw was Maria, who's been with me for over a decade. She started out as a medical esthetician with me and is now the patient care coordinator and a big part of the reason that we won Top Medical Spa. And that is a signature relaxing facial. And we have those facials as well as facials like the hydrofacial. And Josh, who won for top medical esthetician, could talk a little bit more about what we just saw.
I want to talk about facials because I'm a facial fanatic. I love facials. It's one of those things that I will do every month, and at home I try to keep it up, with things that I can do on my own, good products. But what, in your opinion, is the best facial? Is the hydrofacial the top of the line?
The hydrofacial is the top of the line, but I think it really comes down to, are you looking to relax, or are you looking for something that's actually going to benefit your skin? And I think that's why the hydrofacial is probably the best facial out there, because you get the best of both worlds.
Well, I like to think of it as my monthly happy time.
Yeah.
I look forward to it one day a month. I know I'm going to go in and get that. And I do relax, but I also like the benefits.
Right.
And especially if you're going somewhere that night or that weekend, you just glow. Your
Exactly.
skin looks so fresh
Oh, yes.
and beautiful. And I don't know, did you actually create the hydrofacial, or is that something that's done all over the country
I
and you just
wish.
do it?
I mean, you're rich.
I never heard of it until I heard of it
Yes.
from you, and you guys just do it so effortlessly.
So the hydrofacial is a product line just like Juvederm or Belafil is a product line. So it's a company that invented it. There are different machines that are out there. So we have the top of the line hydrofacial MD, and so that has additional benefits that Josh can talk about as well. But it's a fantastic procedure. As a matter of fact, it's so good of a procedure that Aesthetic Everything gave them an award this year too. As one of the top.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Because I swear by them. Now, explain the fact that you can add things to the hydrofacial. You can add different kinds of peels, different products
Correct.
that go along with it, correct?
Correct. You can. There is a little bit of customization with that, so you can adjust the chemical peel that you're doing with it to get further exfoliation, or to target more congested skin. So that's really great about it as well. But in our office, we do more than just the hydrofacial itself. We add in different products, and we really try to customize not just the hydrofacial itself, but the whole facial altogether itself. So we do a lot more than just.
Well, what I like
that.
is that you guys collectively take every patient as if it's your best friend, and you're going to tell them, what would you do if you were them?
Exactly.
And you customize it with skin analysis. So you actually look at a person's skin tone, skin conditions, whether they're dry skin, oily skin, whether they have light skin or they have dark pigmented skin.
Right.
And you adapt what you do to their special needs.
You have to. Offices that don't and they treat everyone the same, that's not us. That's not our practice. Anyone will tell you that. We really take into consideration what the patient is here for, what their skin is like, what's going on in their life, and we customize everything specifically for them because we want them to see results.
Well, not only do they see results, but obviously they tell other people, because it's getting harder to get in there and get an appointment. So
Yeah.
obviously you're in demand.
Right.
But the hydrofacial, to me, and I know we've said this before, is the Rolls Royce of facials. It's as good as it gets. But I like the fact that you can do other things and add other things to that. Now, if someone wanted a mask during that where you leave it on the skin for a while, can you add that to it?
Absolutely. We do that with every hydrofacial we do, which is not something that's standard in the hydrofacial protocol.
Right. You do
know,
that you go that extra mile.
We do. We want our patients to know that we are going that extra mile for them. We care about their skin. We care about, how they feel when they leave our office.
Yes, you asked, is it something that, we invented? No, but, people will call up and say, do you have the hydrofacial? What's the price? Well, while that's important, it's really how we perform the hydrofacial that makes us so different than others out there. And that's with everything that we do. As the two of you said, the word is customization. And so we're not cookie cutters.
That is the point I tell all of my friends when they ask me about that. Go and see them and let them look at your skin. Let them see what you need. No one's going to lie to you there, and no one's going to give you the same thing they gave me or the next person. Whatever you get is exactly what's right for you.
Right.
And a lot of places don't do that.
No,
They kind of treat everybody the same. This is what we do. It's a step 1, 2, 3, 4 out the door.
Yeah, and, if they have one laser, and it's like if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so they use the same procedure over and over and over again. And it might be the right procedure 30% of the time, but it's certainly not 100% of the time. And so when people do a disservice to themselves, they'll look for, cost first. And that the cheapest procedure may be the costliest in the long run if it causes them harm.
Well, isn't that why they say you get what you pay for in life?
Exactly.
And you want the best, you're going to pay for the best. There's no shortcuts to good skin. There's no shortcuts to cosmetic surgery. People that run down to Mexico and these other places and think they're going to get a better job and a cheaper job, boy, are they sorry when they come back.
Well, and many people will put more time in deciding who's going to style their hair than who's injecting them. And, the person who's cutting their hair may have a special pair of scissors, but that doesn't mean that if you hand that pair of scissors to someone else, they can cut their hair just as beautifully. So just because somebody offers Botox or offers Juvederm doesn't mean they have the aesthetic eye and skill set.
Well, I think you just put your finger on it. It's an art. It's an art form. It's not just medicine or science. It's an art form. You have to have an eye for what you're doing. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that you won so many awards is that, number one, you give that customized personal treatment to everyone that comes in the door, but you also have the ability to see what they need and where they need it. Because even with Botox, there's many different places that you can inject it, depending whether you want to raise the brows, diminish lines on the sides. And that's what I love about your practice is that you take the time with everyone that walks through the door. And if you have a question, you'll go to the doctor and he'll come in the room. I'm sure you've all called on him.
All the time.
Right?
Yes,
when
all
you
the time.
want his advice. And he's always available to all of you. And I think that's why it's a well-oiled machine. And that's why you've got so many awards. And when we come back after our 2-minute break, we're going to talk about even more awards and more services that you offer. So we'll be back in 2 minutes.
And action.
And millions of ducks. The two guys go to newradiomedia.com.
The Arts and Entertainment Channel on New Radio Media .com.
As a business owner, you're always looking to save money and cut costs where you can. And if you advertise on radio or television, you know it can get pretty pricey. If radio and TV aren't delivering like they promised, and you're looking for a more reasonably priced way to get your message to the masses, I've got an answer for you. New Radio Media. With live streaming and on-demand programming, your message can be seen throughout the day, and you can worry a little less about cutting those costs. For more information, go to newradiomedia.com or call Buzz Van Houten at 248-939-9999.
What's going on in your neighborhood?
They say it takes a village.
It's the simple things.
The things that are a testament to the old.
And the things that are a testament to the new.
Know what's going on in your community.
Check out our community channel on newradiomedia.com.
It's all about you, and that's the way we like it.
Where you're going.
What you do to stay fit.
What you're eating.
What you're thinking.
And how you're feeling. Join the conversation at newradiomedia.com's Lifestyles channel.
Stream the life you want to live.
Well, now we got to see our beautiful Silvia at work. You really know what you're doing. I mean, that's important to know, like the doctor said. You could have all that great equipment, but you got to know how to use it. And is that what you got your award for? Was it for the body sculpturing, or is it for the injecting?
The injecting. But yeah, of course, there's tons of different injectables out there, different fillers, different neurotoxins, and you have to know how to use each product, where to use it, for who to use it. So I got a lot of that knowledge from Dr. Berkowitz. I was very lucky when I decided that I wanted to get into aesthetics, to be able to connect with Dr. Berkowitz and have him train me, bring me onto the team and train me and go through that whole process. I was very lucky.
You're only as good as the person that taught you. And what
So-
made you pick her?
So I would say that anybody you train, you actually want them to be better than you. And Silvia does a fantastic job. And so I'm thrilled that I see the changes that she can make for people. And the interesting part is I think one of the first times that we met was at one of our patient appreciation days.
Yes, it was.
You came with your sister.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she came with her sister, and we were talking from there, and we knew that there would be a fit. She saw what we did in the past from our patient appreciation day, and all the happy testimonials and clients that were there, and from her background, and you were an ICU nurse.
ICU nurse. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were a nurse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, an RN. Worked in the ICU for almost 6 years, and then transitioned into the aesthetics world.
And you like it better,
I
right?
love it. Yes, I do love it. It's a different type of satisfaction with patients, but it's rewarding. It's very rewarding, and there's a lot of growth.
And you have a lot of repeats. A lot of people
Of
that
course.
come back
Yeah,
to you
you
all the
build
time.
relationships with patients. Yeah, absolutely.
I think once somebody's experienced your touch, they don't want to go to anybody else. That's how I feel.
No, and her practice keeps building because one friend will tell another, I mean, listen, I think I do a beautiful lip, but she one-ups me. She does a fantastic job.
Thank you.
on lips.
Well, we had a chance to watch you in action when we did your sister.
Yes, that's true.
And it was painless.
She wants to come back for
And
another
it was so beautiful. And we're going to be doing live broadcast at the Patient Appreciation Day.
Right. So
and we're going to see a lot of these things actually happen.
So at the Patient Appreciation Day, there will be many of the different manufacturers and companies from Bellafill, which is a long-lasting filler, to Juvederm, to Botox, and then Sculpture will be represented. And so there's a lot of the different companies that will be there, and everything is on special that one day. So
how are you going to take care of all the people that are going to be lining up?
We do it.
So the people who have been coming to us for years, they know to get there early, and they get there early and they start talking to us.
All right, what are the hours?
So
give the hours and the address.
So we open at 9 a.m. and it goes till 1 p.m. plus at 44650 Delco Boulevard, and that's in Sterling Heights, Michigan. We're across from Sam's Club, and the old babies are us.
Yeah.
Which is right, kind of like Hall Road.
Hall Road, yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's an exciting day because not only do they get these great specials, but they can talk to other people that have had procedures as well and meet the manufacturers. And we also have raffles, and they can win prizes.
So it's like a party.
It's a party.
Let's talk more about Silvia. Let's talk about your award specifically for injectables. How did you feel when you got that award?
Honored. There's a lot of injectors out there.
Oh, there's every office has them.
And there's some that have been doing it for a very, very long time. So I'm honored to have to receive the award. And it's also it's encouraging. It kind of motivates you to be even better.
Better.
Yeah.
What's your favorite product to inject? I mean, you use so many of them.
Yeah. I like lip filler. I think that's the funnest.
You're the queen of lips.
I just think it's fun.
I think anybody that wants lip enhancement should go to you.
Thank you.
Right?
Oh, yeah, she does mine. I love them.
All right, well, tell us about how it feels, and why do you keep going back?
Just really like a plump pout. Because I feel like ever since Kylie Jenner went nuts, it took off. So all the girls are coming in wanting something like that. I personally had plump lips before, but
I
it's
would
always
not have
something
known
sexy about a pout.
I never would have guessed you have it done. It looks so natural.
Good, I'm glad. Thank you. I have about probably 3 syringes over 3 years. That's called layering. You know, everybody loves that swollen look, and I liked it too.
Or the bee stung look.
Yes.
So that's what it kind of is, because your lips are more vascular, so you do feel a little bit more. I'm a baby, and I bruise. So everybody's different, though. You know, you can do a little numbing cream to the top of it to make it more comfortable,
But let's face it. The point is you keep coming back.
Always, yes.
So no matter how much little bit of discomfort, it does not equal to the end result.
Nope, they love it so much they always come back. And I will too, absolutely.
So even if you're a baby, you come back.
Yeah, it's interesting. All of the ladies, and we've actually had gentlemen as well, they'll say, you know, I want to be conservative, just, you know, one syringe. And then we always will check them again at, you know, 2 to 4 weeks. And
because then
ultimately
it shrinks down a little. The swelling goes down.
The swelling comes down, yes, right.
And then they want more.
They want to go back to that swollen look.
What's the cost? We've talked about this on other shows, but people ask me all the time, what does it cost to get those gorgeous lips?
Well, so it's depending on the specific filler. It can range anywhere from $500 to $750.
And that lasts for how long?
A year. The
A
filler
year?
lasts a year. Yeah.
So that's like pennies a day.
Yeah. So basically, what we like to do with our patients is kind of get them to achieve their goal of where they want their lips to be, and then from there, you just come back in every year to have another syringe.
Now, to win the award you won, you must do the kind of work that's perfect. You don't have uneven lips, or, you know, people that come back with one side bigger than the other side.
Yeah.
How do you avoid that? Is it just having that eye for it?
You kind of have
so
to
you
have
know where
an
you're
eye
putting
for it. Yeah. Work very slowly. Just be more conservative. Like Megan mentioned, patients will come in with photos of, for instance, Kylie Jenner or whoever it is, and you look at the patient, you think, okay, this is going to take more than one syringe. So we don't do all those syringes at the same time.
Well, people have to be educated.
Yes,
they have
and
to
we do
know
explain
that.
that.
You just don't go in there with a picture, say, this is how I want to be, and I have
and that's how you
$500.
avoid complications and uneven lips and just unnatural.
But even if it
looks.
comes out a little uneven, you can fix that. You can
fix
add
it.
a little more,
Yeah.
and you could.
Yeah, so you can optimize
dissolve
things.
a little bit or optimize.
So at the end of the procedure, people will look in the mirror and they'll be thrilled, but things may not be 100% even just due to swelling afterwards. And so we let that swelling go down, see them back at 2 to 4 weeks, and if we need to optimize anything, we can do it then.
Plus, people's lips are slightly different on each side. When I smile, I notice I have a difference in my lower lip. So that can be corrected and fixed with filler to be more even, correct?
Correct.
Is that, would you say, is that your number one requested service, or is Botox?
I would say it's an even 50-50. I would say Botox and lip filler.
And that's a change from the past few years, because it used to just be Botox. But
Well,
now,
Botox was, when it first came out, there's not a person I know that wasn't saying, Botox. If you got Botox, you got to get Botox. Why don't you get Botox? You should get Botox. Everybody's getting Botox. And the thing that surprised me is how young the girls are that get Botox.
Well, now it's like a pre-juvenation.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like
preventive.
It's preventive. I mean, they're 19, 20. They have no lines, and they'll never have lines. They will look the same forever. I mean, it's, to me, preventative is the way to go.
That's our goal.
I mean, why wait until you're all old and wrinkly and then say, I think I need a facelift?
Right.
If you do everything right along the way, you can kind of put that off a lot longer than if you do nothing until you need it, right?
Right, and take care of your skin and use proper
push off.
skin care.
And there's more non-surgical treatments and procedures that you could do now. I mean, you used to have to go right straight to a facelift, right?
Right. And
there was nothing in between.
And you mentioned earlier rhinoplasties or nose surgeries. No, we don't do them in our office. So, of course, we would refer to another. But then there's non-surgical nose jobs, which is using filler. So
That's become very big.
yes, very big.
I'm
Chins
so,
and noses.
I'm so glad you brought that
Yeah.
up, because mentoplastics, which is, you know, the chin,
Yeah.
where they put implants in, you can now do that with fillers and shape them the same way that you do an implant,
It's
correct?
actually, to me, a nicer procedure than the implant.
It's safer and it actually looks better because you can mold
You
it
can
to
mold
the
it.
shape of the
Right.
person. And whereas when you use an implant, it's the shape it is. There's
Exactly.
only so many different ones to choose
Exactly.
from. So you can customize that. Now, I think it's fascinating about with noses because most people that want a nose job want their nose to be smaller. But sometimes it's just a question of appearing narrower or having the tip up a little
Yep.
bit more. And you can do that without surgery, is that right?
We can, so we can raise the tip. We can give the illusion of a narrower nose by placing filler in the proper areas as well. People will have bumps on their nose.
And you can even that
smooth
out by adding a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit more around the bump. So that
It's a great result.
see, to me, that's the greatest change in cosmetic surgery in the last 10 years is that you don't have to go under the knife for every single thing.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
It's funny. I use that line with patients all the time. I let them know, like, things have changed so much. Now you don't have to do such a big procedure to get such a nice, subtle change.
Some
to get a
patients are
refresher
just
change.
afraid of going under the knife, going through surgery.
Well,
But they
again,
have other options.
Again, it's the anesthesia that a lot of people are afraid of, and they don't want to go under and not know what's going to happen when they come out of it.
Or sometimes the
So-
downtime from a surgical
exactly. So it's
procedure.
just it's a whole new business, and you're on the cutting edge of it because Dr.
Ba-dum-bum.
Berkowitz, he's one of those doctors that wants to know what's the newest, what's the best, not necessarily what's going to make me the most money. Like you don't cut everybody just so you can say I did a facelift.
You know, if it was just about the money, I wouldn't have all of this technology to treat the clients. And so I bring in the technology because I know it's the best for the clients to get them the look that they request.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it because look at all the awards you won. And we're not through. So when we come back in 2 minutes, we're going to talk a little bit more about how fantastic you guys are.
Hey, you guys, it's Raphael of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Guess what? The only thing we can get down here in the sewer is Geektainment Weekly on New Radio Media. Turtle Power!
Detroit. It's the home of some of the world's most talented artists. It's where techno and Motown were born. It's a city where you can experience raw, untamed rock and roll. I'm Ben Rose, and I'm inviting you to join me weekday afternoons from 4 to 5 for the Motor City Juke Joint. I'll have interviews with musicians, info on what's going on around town, and a playlist curated by me just for you. It's all right here on newradiomedia.com.
Hi, I'm Andy.
And I'm David.
Join us for fun and adventure on our new show, Podquesters, where we fight through imaginary battles and pray to the dice gods for good rolls.
Yes, it's an epic sweeping adventure. We try to fulfill our destinies without driving the Dungeon Master crazy.
I thought that was the point.
Anyways, check us out here on newradiomedia.com Fridays, Podquesters.
See you there.
Hi, I'm Art, and we're the crew at Tuffy Walled Lake. We've been in Walled Lake for 20 years, and through our knowledgeable staff and customer satisfaction, we've become quite the cornerstone in our community and to our discerning customers statewide. We know how important your vehicle is to you, and we take pride in our impeccable, affordable service, and we're trying to get you back on the road as quickly and safely as we possibly can. Please stop in and see why everybody comes from all over to get their cars serviced at 784 North Pontiac Trail in Walled Lake.
Okay, so I'm officially the head of the fan club for Dr. Berkowitz and company because I think everything you do is phenomenal, and I'm just so honored to be working with you guys. This is our favorite segment. Josh and I and the doc, we always have fun with this. We like to look at different celebrities and either guess what they had done or tell them what they should get done. So let's see who we have up that we can analyze, critique. You girls are welcome to join in too. So let's all give us our opinions here. Who's first? Oh, Dolly Parton.
Oh.
So
I didn't recognize her.
I
didn't know who that
I know
was.
that's what she used to look like, guys.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, this was her back in the day, and
Wow.
she's had so much done over the years, and she's not shy about it either.
Oh no, she'll talk about it on every talk
which
show.
I love when people are not shy about what they've had done.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so this is obviously what she looks like before, and if we take a look at what she looks like today, we can kind of guess what she's done over the years.
Okay, but before you rip her apart, she looks pretty damn good for 72.
I mean, you can't. Yeah. Doc, what
So-
hasn't she had done?
Well, she's had her brows lifted. Unfortunately, her eyelids were overdone.
Mhm.
And so they removed too much fatty tissue from her upper eyelids, and that actually makes her look older. Her lower lids look terrific. Her nose has been thinned out. Her cheeks have filler. Her lips, she's probably had filler, but she's always worn a lot of lipstick
Yeah.
too. So, I mean...
Can't tell if it's liner or if it's her lips. But her skin looks really good, doesn't it, for 72?
Yeah, absolutely.
For
Her skin looks good.
So, and her neck looks pretty tight.
Her neck looks tight. You know, if there were one thing I would reverse, it would be her upper eyelids, and I could put some fatty tissue back into her upper eyelids, and to me that would make her look a little bit more youthful.
I think so too. I think that she almost looks a little too hollowed out in her eyes, and I think that's kind of what does age her a little bit there.
I don't know. I guess I'm not seeing what you're seeing because I think for 72 she looks pretty good. What do you girls think?
I'm a little
She
scared.
looks great for some.
Why, you think it's scary looking?
A little bit with all the
Oh.
makeup and
the
everything.
makeup,
It's
too.
it's too much, I guess. I mean, she's beautiful, yeah, for 72.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't.
You got to consider the age.
Yeah,
But if you were to
absolutely.
see if we were to see what Dr. Berkowitz is talking about by putting fat or even filler in that area,
Then you'd see how
then
much
you'll
better she'd
understand.
look.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I still think she looks good for
Call
her
me,
age.
call
So
me.
next. Yeah, right? Oh
Very
my
animal- you know,
God.
Number 2, can't handle it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
Oh.
I don't even know where to begin. Doc.
Well, he's been tightened way too much.
Yeah.
And,
Oh dear.
You know, and it's interesting. You know, he had a facelift, and he has got that windswept look.
Yes.
So they didn't go against gravity; they went toward his ear, which makes him look, over pulled. And it's interesting, his nose. He never touched because his nose is what he's known for. And that would change his face. His brow has fallen down, but it looks like they did some eyelid surgery on the upper eyelid despite that. So now you have his brow sitting upon the eyelashes. It's too close even for a man.
Yeah, because in the first picture there's a lot more space between the eye and the eyebrow.
So if he had a brow lift now, that would actually make him look more youthful, and he much too much filler in his cheeks. His
No,
cheeks
yeah,
are too-
And his chin does.
What do you
looks
What do you
different,
think about his lips? He's lost a lot of volume in his lips. I mean, would you add a little bit more to
Yeah,
it?
even for a gentleman, you can add some
Yeah, because
volume.
look at
It'd
the
make him look a little
first
bit more
picture. His
youthful.
lower lip looks nice
Oh, he's
and
very
full.
plump.
Yeah.
But the middle picture is the worst, right?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
My-
oh my
I-
gosh.
That's where my eye is. Like
the whole time.
the whole time. Just the whole
But
time.
you know what?
Yeah.
He's been married for a lot of years to the same guy who probably thinks he looks fabulous. So
the
at
same-
any rate, he looks a little scary to me. But he sings good.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and the hair, I'm sure. I don't think it's a transplant. I think it's a weave.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
100%.
I mean, look at from photo 2 to photo 3. It hasn't moved.
Yeah, you're right.
Josh.
You're right.
Exactly right. Okay, who's next?
So crazy.
So Lisa Marie Presley. I mean, this is one.
What?
Oh.
It's just.
What happened?
It's really unfortunate because most people I feel like realize at a certain point that they've had too much done and they start trying to correct themselves, and I feel like that hasn't happened yet.
Well, she unfortunately is one that shouldn't have, but kind of used the Groupon, went to Mexico.
You know?
And had, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't proper filler placed into her face.
Okay.
And it needed to be removed, and she,
Was that her or her mother Priscilla that did that?
You may be right.
I think it was Priscilla who did that.
You may be
And they
right.
look a lot alike. And, they both had quite a bit of surgery. But what's with her face, the
Yeah.
The
skin
cinch-
next to
yeah,
her
the
lips
cinch.
there
Yeah.
on the third
Looks
one?
like scarred.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that's not...
Unless that second one was photoshopped, the skin.
Yeah, I
It
mean, it's
probably
just an
was.
overabundance of filler and not properly
But she was
placed.
so fresh-faced and pretty in the first picture. It's like the whole shape of her face changed. Like in the third picture, she looks more horsey, like a longer, narrower. What did she do to herself?
Again, I think she may have, as you said, that was probably Mom followed in Mom's footsteps and went to the wrong place. But the lips definitely look as if they
Oh, they
became
were totally plumped out.
And
from,
if you look along her chin as well and her jawline, she's got a scar within that area that she didn't have beforehand. And maybe she had an accident. I don't know. But that could be, again, improper filler that caused that.
Oh, not a good look. Not a good look. Elvis would be unhappy with that. Well, this has been an interesting hour. I'm proud to say I work with all of you award-winning people
thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
And the organization obviously knows what it's doing in picking the best of the best. So congratulations to all of you. And we hope to see everybody on November 10th.
Oh, you will.
Because
Absolutely.
we're going to have fun out there. And I'll be in line for whatever's on sale. See you on the 10th. And we'll be back next week.